Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector. Today's video that we're going to show you is a video about some games that Lori and I have been seeking, and we have found a way to get them into our library, and I wanted to show them to you. Now, I want to make a point before we see this video about some of these games you're going to look at and say, who would possibly own those games, or who would want those games even? And the reason why I say that is because gaming tastes vary over individuals. So games that we adore and like are not necessarily going to be games that you adore and like. And that's the nature of this hobby, because there's so many different styles and genres of games. So it's just something that I want you to think about while you watch this video. And to illustrate that point, I want to show you a couple of games that you probably would never own that are in our 200 game library that aren't going anywhere, because we like them. And the first game I'm going to talk about is Yak. Now, you probably ask yourself, if you've seen Yak or played Yak, you probably say, who in the world would even want that game? But we were at a convention, and we were walking through the convention hall, looking at the games people were playing, and Lori saw this on the table, and she said, look at that game, it's got little yaks and wagons, and I just have to have it. I don't care if it's a bad game or not. But we played it, and it's a cute game. And we decided that, you know what? This is fun for us, so let's keep this game in our library. And we have, and it's got some nice publishing, and you got these yaks and wagons that you're going to go around a rondel and collect these wooden blocks that you get a ton of them in the game. Resource management with these wooden pieces, and you're going to build a wall out of those blocks, and according to how you build that wall is going to determine how you score your points. And that's it. That's the game. There's nothing to it. It's not going to make you go, oh my gosh, that's so complex.
But it's got a baby yak.
Yeah, and it's got a baby yak. I didn't show you the baby yak. And Lori,
the first player marker.
Lori loves the baby yak, and so we keep this game in our library because we like it and it's fun for us. And that's my point. That's all that matters. It has to be fun for you, the board gamer, not somebody else. You can't let some reviewer on YouTube say, well, this game's, there's nothing to it, and I would never own this game. And there's plenty of them out there that would say that. But for us, Yak's fun, and we keep it in our library. Out of 200 games, we keep Yak. And then the other one I want to talk about is Wacky Racers. Wacky Racers is a terrible game. It's there's nothing to it. You literally lay out a trail of cards, and then you take your racers, and you're going to move along those cards and do various functions.
It's not a terrible
This is a game from this Wacky Racers cartoon was from 1968. We were in 7th grade, and you had 3 channels on your television set here in the good old USA. And on Saturday morning, they would show cartoons, and Wacky Racers was one of them. And so it has a nostalgia for me. I don't know as much of a Lori, but it does for me. And when I saw this game, and we got off Game Steward, and all these little Wacky Racers are painted miniatures. And I love that. There's 11 of them. They're outstanding. I don't know if you've ever paid attention to Wacky Racers or not, but you know, it's Dick Dastardly and Muttley. And weren't they in something else?
They're in our Scooby-Doo game, but they're an add-on for the Scooby-Doo game.
And some of these racers have one person running them. Other one, like the caveman, they got 2 cavemen in the car.
Penelope Pitstop.
I mean, it's just so much for us to remember about our childhood. So we keep Wacky Racers. This is one of our 200 games that we keep. Now, I also want to mention that beginning Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, at midnight, Game Steward, where we got this, which we have nothing to do with, you guys. I'm not advertising for Game Steward. Yeah. I just want you to be able to get good games cheap. That's my goal. And they're going to have a sale, a Black Friday sale, starting at midnight Thanksgiving night, Game Steward. And you can Google it and set your timer and take a look at that. We got this for $45, this Wacky Racers Deluxe thing last year for $45, and it was worth it to us. So I just wanted to make that point to you guys, that fun, it varies depending on the individual, and don't let anyone on YouTube tell you what fun is. So with that being said, I want to show you these games that we just purchased that we've been seeking, and I hope you have fun watching this video. Okay, so the first game I'm going to talk about today is Santini New York. Now, Santini is a game that Lori and I had a while back, and we played it and enjoyed it. So if you have Santini, I'm sure you're in love with it. but we decided that we liked Torres by Kramer and Keesing a little better, and they reminded us of each other. But where were we? And we got this?
At the Haven
Flea
Market.
Haven Flea Market, and this was $7. I will tell you that's one reason why we bought it, because it was $7 and it was like brand new inside, so we were able to bring this home and play it, and we had a good time doing it so far. I don't know how long it's going to be in my library, but I did want to try it.
It'll go to the kids if we get it.
Yeah, this is a dual layer player board, and you're going to have a deck of cards, much like Santorini. You have characters that you're going to play, and they give you special movement. You can see at the bottom there are the movement directions of those characters and tell you what you can do. And you have two little workers, just like in Santorini, that you're going to be moving around New York City. And we even got some special cards in here, advanced roll cards that haven't been used yet. We've only played this maybe once or twice. Have we played it twice? I think we have.
Inside the lid.
Yeah. So, and we've played it. Wow. Oh, that's Santorini. We played this 3 times. And then again, here's some more of these cards that show, you know, and at the bottom it has the movements you can use for that particular character. And that's pretty cool. I mean, we had a good time doing it. And you have these building pieces you're going to put on the board. You saw with that dual layer player board, as you stick those on there and build around New York City, and you have roofs that you can put on them. It has a different thing. And this Statue of Liberty, you must be in possession of this in order to win the game. To win the game, you have to place one of your workers on the 3rd level of a building site, and then you must be in possession of the Statue of Liberty at the same time in order to win. Then you have these wonderful gold buildings that have different effects too, that add to the strategy of the game that you're building around New York. And, you know, nice architecture that looks like New York City when you're all completed. Again, we wanted to try this just because, again, Santorini we liked, but we didn't like it as much as Torres. And then we wanted to try this, and the $7 price point allowed us to do that very cheaply. And again, we liked it though.
Yeah.
You played it 3 times, and
I think the kids will.
but there is some strategy to this game that you have to explore, and it takes more than 1 or 2 plays to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to play it some more and see how that works out for us. But that's Santorini, New York. Then, where in the heck was I when I got? Oh, we were in a used bookstore.
Oh yeah.
And we picked this little game up. It's Terminator, Dark Fate, the card game. And Dark Fate is one of the Terminator movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger has done a series of those. And we loved Terminator back in the day when it first came out in the 80s, I think it was. And I was a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. I saw this in the used bookstore, and Lori said, hey, look at this. Magnetic closure. I'm a sucker for that. That's like Wizards of the Grimoire and Biblios, and I love that. And then I started reading the back, and this is a deck building game, a cooperative deck builder, and that intrigued me. So it's 182 Fate cards in this deck. That sounded pretty neat, like a lot of variety. So I wanted to give it a try. I watched it play. Paul Darcy does a wonderful playthrough on YouTube, and I haven't played this yet, but I watched his playthrough, and I know I'm going to like it. It's right up our alley. And again, it has movie stills from the Dark Fate film. So if you don't like movie stills, and I've heard reviewers on YouTube say I don't like a game with movie stills, I just don't like it. So if that bothers you, you wouldn't like this deck builder. I had never heard of it. You know, you acquire these certain things that can help you, different cards, and take turns in a cooperative game. It's fully cooperative. You can talk, table talk, as much as you absolutely want to, and I love that. I don't like really cooperative games that limit table talk. To me, that's not cooperative. So, but and then you have
Not talk.
yeah, then you have these damage against the Rev 9. That's who the villain is. The Rev 9.
Terminator Dark Fate came out in 2019.
Oh, 2019, Lori says the movie came out, Terminator Dark Fate. But the Rev 9 is what you're going to be going against, and there's different levels of the Rev 9 that you'll be able to battle against, and one of them you have 2 or 3 of them that come out. So hey, this is going to be a fun game. It's something that we will love because we know what kind of gamers we are. We like cooperative games, fully cooperative games, and we like deck builders, so this is a no-brainer for us. That's Terminator Dark Fate, the card game. All right, we were, I don't know where we found this.
Same place.
Was it really?
Yep.
Okay, so Laura says we got this up the Haven
At that flea market.
the flea market. Hey, we had this and sold it.
Yep.
This is a 2-player only game if you're not familiar with Targi from Cosmos. and
sold it, and we're sorry.
So I sold it, and well, I don't know as much as we're sorry as we liked it.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know, and we've sold a bunch of games to allow these games to come into the house.
Yeah.
You kind of reflect on those at times, and you're like, oh, maybe that, because Lori and I play mostly 2 players, so why get rid of Targi? Because it's fantastic. And then we took the lid off this box, and not only was Targi in here, but it also had the expansion.
Yep.
And that was a no-brainer then. We said, oh, okay, let's get it back.
It was $10 for the whole
$10 for the whole thing, and it doesn't even look like I think the expansion wasn't even played.
Expansion's in plastic still.
Yeah, still in plastic. So we picked that up because we like Targi, and it was a chance for us. I don't know if you guys have played Targi or not.
I think I put stickers on the people too.
And you have little nomads, and you have a grid of cards. You're going to move around that grid and do the intersection of those 2 workers. And so it's very strategic, and it's a set collection thing where you're trying to get certain cards to score, and it is a fun, one of the best 2-player only games out there. If you have not played this, by Andreas Steiger. And we loved Targi when we first got it, sold it. Now we got it back with the expansion.
Yeah.
Cheaper than what we sold it. Well, yeah, so,
sure, yeah.
So we did pretty good, and I'm very happy we have it back. So that's Targi. All right, the next game I'm going to talk about is, hey, I think we got this the same place, didn't we? Raiders of Cythia? $20, right?
Yeah.
$20. Raiders of Cythia by Garphill Games. Now, my history with Garphill Games, I mean, I've played them, and I liked Raiders of the North Sea, but it had that player interaction I didn't care for. And then we played the West Kingdom series, and I just didn't like the art in those games for starters, and none of those games just float my boat.
And people love them.
And there's people who love it. So we are in the minority. But anyways, we got this for $20, and this is Raiders of the North Sea with a bunch of the Raiders of the North Sea expansions already in the box. And I love this classic looking art. Much better. But this box is, of course, packed with goodness. We've got little, you know, we put our little wooden piece there. Did you stick those?
I stickered all those.
Oh, Lori stickered all, because we're keeping this game.
I bought the stickers off Etsy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And you have these eagles and horses that you can acquire. Everything about this game I love. As soon as we played it the first time, I said, wow, that was worth the $20 all the way. And Raiders of the North Sea, we played quite a bit, and we liked it, but it just wasn't, it wasn't a 10 out of 10 for us. And this was a 10 out of 10. And so we absolutely enjoy this Raiders of Cythia by Garphill Games, and we're glad that we picked that up. All right, next game I'm going to talk about is a game from 2024. This is going to be my best games of 2024. Jacqueline Hyde versus Scotland Yard. Again, this is a cooperative trick-taking game, and we, you know, as I've said, we love to play cooperatively, so it's just right up our alley. And in this game, I'm going to read this to you. Your objective is to maintain the balance between Jekyll and Hyde personalities while evading Scotland Yard's investigation. The story unfolds as you successfully complete 10 different chapters, each with its own dedicated rules. And that's the cool thing about this game. Each chapter that you're going to play in this game has different rule set, and so you have to adjust your thinking, and it's really bizarre to do that because you just got used to winning one way, and boom, you go to the next chapter and the rules change, so you have to win in a different way. But wow, what a brilliant idea, and a very inexpensive box of gaming goodness right here, folks. And Lori and I love Jekyll and Hyde versus Scotland Yard. If you haven't played it, get it played. If you like cooperative games, some people don't like those either. So yeah, wonderful game, 2024. Now this is one we got picked up for Halloween. Dracula versus Van Helsing. And this is a really cool game. We really enjoy it also. Yeah, this is a 1v1 game. And you have this board that you're going to use, and you have tokens in each one of these sectors, 4 tokens in each one of these sectors of citizens. And if you're Dracula, you want to turn those citizens over to their vampire side. So you're infecting the city of London or whatever. But yeah, it's so much fun, and you have these little wooden pieces that are cool as all get out that hold your tiles that are really a fun experience. I love this game. It didn't take me long to decide that I loved it, and we like playing it during Halloween and at other times during the year. But it's a fun, inexpensive little game. The tiles are beautiful. I didn't show you. I probably should have. But the tiles are really nice in this game. Yeah, let me see. Darn it. Sorry about that. I should have shown you a couple of those just so you could. The tiles that you put in those holders are pretty cool. Yeah, there they are. They're cards, but they're real thick. Yeah, so there we are. Yeah, so you're going to be putting those in that piece right here so that you can see what you have, because it matters where they're positioned on that. So yeah, pretty cool game. Again, we picked it up, and it's very inexpensive if you like this kind of game. You know, where it's your 1v1, and is it mean? Sure. I mean, you're trying. It's 1v1. I mean, you're not like, it's not like a take that thing, but you are simply trying to accomplish your goal so that you can win the game, and that's Dracula versus Van Helsing. All right, and a couple of expansions I picked up for my Villainous Star Wars game. Hey, yeah, we love Villainous. Our daughter-in-law bought us that game. It's a mass market game that I'm sure she picked up, you know, at Target or in the internet or whatever, and because that's where she shops. Yeah. We really like Star Wars Villainous. I was very surprised that I liked that game. But you have 2 decks of cards you're going to use in Villainous per player. So you have I don't know what it's called, maybe a fate deck or something like that, that your opponent's going to use against you and draw cards from. And you have to be familiar with that deck that's going to attack you in order to do well in this game. And then you'll have a deck of cards for your character that you're going to play and try to accomplish the goal that is in Star Wars the story, Star Wars the movies. The goal matches that exactly, so that's pretty cool. And I'll take one. You know what? I'm going to take this one apart. This is the one with Darth Maul and Captain Phasma. Now, Darth Maul, he was a cool character, but you get a little miniature for each one of those, and a deck of, 2 decks of cards for each one of those. And then this is the one I wanted to get really badly because it has Boba Fett in it. But these are the little figurines. I'd much rather these were color cardboard standees rather than these chunky plastic pieces, unless these are biodegradable, which I doubt. And this plastic that goes into the dump is going to be with us forever unless we make a decision not to let that happen. But I'd much rather cardboard standees that are biodegradable. But hey, this is better than gray plastic, which I always complain about. There's nothing worse in board gaming than gray plastic. And these are pretty nice. But again, yeah, 3 more characters for our Villainous itch, and we'll get to playing this and play through 2 or 3, 4 or 5 games at a time so that we can use the different characters and have fun with that game. So that's Villainous. All right. This game, we back on Kickstarter. Whoops, upside down. Colossal Cat in the Box. Hey, this reminds me of King Domino in that it was a smaller game in a small box, and then the publisher said, you know what, let's make this really big. I think this guy made this for his mother.
He made a copy for his mother.
Yeah, the designer made this for his mother because she had bad eyesight. And you know what? I'll be 69 on Thanksgiving Day, and my eyesight isn't the best. So I appreciate this kind of stuff. And in King Domino, I appreciated it because it brought the art out of those tiles that you never noticed before. So I love King Domino Giant Edition or XL or whatever you want to call it. Same with this, Colossal Cat in the Box. Laura and I played this at a convention, and we had already ordered this game because we thought we would like it.
We've never played.
Never played it. I mean, tell you, we've played this game and played this game and played this game, and this is a trick-taking game, and you have to bid how many tricks you're going to take, which is hard enough, and then you have to go out and get that many, or you won't even score your bonuses or your points. And then not only do you have to take as many tricks as you bid, but this deck of cards is all the same color. Yeah, this will twist your mind. So you're going to name the color, and that's so meaty and so hard to do, and how to wrap your mind. It'll take you a minute. If you have not played Cat in the Box, you've got a nice treat coming. Hey, check this guy, this colossal thing out. Look at that. Kitty cat.
Player marker.
That thing's, this is heavy. It's first player marker, yeah. And then each one, each cat player color comes in a little cat head. And you got your little tokens that you're going to place on the board. And oh wow, this game is fantastic. I'm telling you what, a friend of ours at a convention had this, the small version of this. And I said, oh, I want to play that. We ordered the Giant Edition, the Colossal, and I have never played that game. So he taught it to us, Richard, our friend. And he taught the game to us. We played it and said, wow, we're glad we backed that game. That's Colossal Cat in the Box, folks. All right, a game that just got delivered to my house yesterday. We played this at a convention.
Yep.
Terraforming Mars, the dice game. I've got a video coming up, my top 10 dice games. This will be on it. And we played this at a convention thinking this was an old game.
We didn't know it was a new game.
Yeah, we had no idea it was a new game. It was a 2023 title. It would have been in my 2023 Best Games video, but I didn't know that it was a new game. Every time I saw it, I thought it was an old game. For whatever reason, you get those thoughts in your head, and when you're my age, they just stay in there.
Mars is old, so I thought it was.
Yeah, I think the Beatles are still recording. So that's just what happens to you when you get old. So yeah, Terraforming Mars, a dice game, is so much fun. There's so much strategy. Got these beautiful player aids that you use. Tells you exactly what to do on your action turn. It tells you what to do on your production turn. That's two things you're going to do. You're either going to take actions or you're going to produce. And so you got those player aids to help you do that. This wonderful board that looks kind of like Terraforming Mars. Whoops. Kind of like Terraforming Mars. In order to win the game, you have to get two of three things. You have to get rid of all these sea tiles that when you're terraforming Mars here, and then you have to get the air, oxygen all the way to the end, or the temperature all the way to the end. Two of those three things have to be done to make the game end. But yeah, and you're terraforming the surface of the planet just like you are in Terraforming Mars, which we liked. We liked Terraforming Mars. It had some interactive cards we didn't care for, and the length of the game was quite long, but this wasn't all that short.
No, it wasn't either.
But yeah, there's a lot to this game. And the wonderful thing about this is, folks, this guy sold me this game for $20 or something.
25, including shipping.
Including shipping, $25, and he shipped it to me in, I mean, it was perfectly packaged.
And it's the Kickstarter.
It's the Kickstarter version, and all the cards are sleeved beautifully. I don't know if he played it much, but and you get this huge bag of gorgeous custom dice that you're going to roll and try and complete cards that will give you benefits on your production, benefits and points at the end of the game. So, just such a good time. Lori and I couldn't. Well, I guess we were surprised we liked it as much as we did. Yeah, once we played it and got it, I got to thinking about it, and then I said, hey, you know what? We really like Terraforming Mars, the dice game. Let's get that. So we found a guy willing to part with it cheap, and that's us, because we're cheap. We played it last night.
Yeah.
Terraforming Mars, the dice game. All right. Now here's a game that I really wanted for a long time, and it's called Secrets of the Lost Tomb. Secrets of the Lost Tomb is an adventure game, a dungeon crawling affair, and I haven't played it yet. I just got it, and I actually have ordered the Kickstarter 10-year anniversary edition, but that's not going to deliver till next year. But I found somebody, another YouTuber actually, selling this game for $35. I said, hey, I'll take it, and give me a chance to play it until mine shows up next year. But yeah, this is absolutely fantastic game. I've watched it played so many times. I told Laura, I gotta get that game. So what do I like about it? I like the dungeon crawler aspect of it. I like the fact that all the characters are cardboard standees. So all you miniature fans out there probably won't like this. But wow, what a tremendous game. It has a bunch of decks of cards, encounters that you're going to take part in, and battles you're going to have fun with, and there's so much to appreciate about Secrets of the Lost Tomb. I can't wait to play it. It's a game, again, that I've wanted for a long time. And after I ordered the 10-year anniversary, I thought, oh, I gotta wait till next year. I mean, they're saying July, which means probably Christmas, maybe.
Yeah, Christmas.
Yeah, so maybe 26. So it's going to be a while, plus with the new tariffs, so who knows what's going to happen to Kickstarter, GameFound, anything manufactured in China.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to get me a copy of the game just in case. But it's a scenario book right there, and there's your Everything Epic rule book. Just an outstanding box of gaming goodness that you're going to go through. All these tiles that you can explore. I've already got stuff in containers in here. Beautiful D12s maybe? I can't remember, but they're all custom dice that you're going to roll and do encounters. Bunches of cards and these gorgeous characters that you're going to encounter during the game. Just so much to enjoy in this box, in this game, and I had to have it. Again, I love games like this. This is kind of reminds me of Arkham Horror 3rd Edition, where you're just, you're exploring things and traveling around, trying to accomplish goals, and just having a good time encountering different things that are exciting. Secrets of the Lost Tomb is something I've wanted for quite a while. All right, then we had a, where did we get Die of the Dead? Oh, we got it at the VFM.
Yeah.
So we acquired a game called Die of the Dead off the VFM at a convention, a virtual flea market. I swear, I bought that game just because it looked fun. It's a dice game. And it's going to be in my top 10 dice game videos, by the way. And but we
tell them all.
But we loved it so much and had so much fun playing it. We found out there was some expansion material for it. And yes, Richard in the UK, I bought the expansions. So we have yet to play them, but I wanted to get them. And oh, check that out. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't played Die of the Dead, you're putting dice in caskets and scooting the caskets around. You have to remember how many of your dice color you have in there because you're going to shake them around. And just because maybe you have 4, I mean, if I'm the yellow player and I have 4 of my dice in this one casket and somebody else only has 3 dice, your dice still have to be of higher value to win that casket. So it's not as easy as you think, and you're trying to get your dice. And this game has these are just regular D6s, but there are custom dice, a lot of custom dice in this game, in the base box and in the other expansion, which I'll show you here in a second. But wow, this is the Ofrenda variant. So we'll see how that plays. And then this is the Zolo expansion. Here's some wonderful custom dice that are in the game, and this dog, Zolo. Yeah, man, he's cool. This guy is cool looking. Hey, I wish I could. No, I don't. Maybe you expect me to say I'm not won over by themes that are fun and interesting, but I am. You know, I love my dry Euro games. I love my Carpe Diem, and I love Gold West, and I love my Agricola, the big box. 2-player only game, but I like some games with some interesting themes also, and we've enjoyed Die of the Dead so much we wanted to pick up the expansion material for it because we just enjoyed it and we want to enjoy it some more. So yeah, that was Die of the Dead's expansions. And then we had a game back in the day called Baseball Highlights 2045, and it was the deluxe edition with a bunch of cards and things, and had 4 player boards in it, which we were never going to use. I sold that and moved it on to somebody that was going to be able to use that, and then they came out with a spring training edition, and it's just the 2-player only. If you're a baseball fan, it helps in this game, but you don't have to be. Nope. You certainly don't have to be. This is a player versus player game where you are 2 different baseball teams, and you're going to use a deck of cards that you begin with that's kind of weak, so you're building a deck, and this is the board you're going to play with, and you have Lori bought little base runners that are going to go around the bases. They give you cardboard chits in the spring training version, and in the regular version they gave you pawns. But Lori got these base runners that make it more fun. You know, that's just who she is. So we got those guys to run around the bases, and you're simply going to have a deck of cards that you're going to use, and it has a bunch of different teams. Boston and New York and San Francisco, and then we have this huge deck of free agents. So as you're playing the game, and at the end of that particular game, you're going to, because you have to win, it's a best of 7, so you have to win 4 games in order to win the total series. And as you finish each game, you have points like these in this green circle. It says 2. So at the end of the game, you're going to spend those points to buy free agents out of this deck, and they have more powerful options on them. And this is kind of a back and forth type of turn structure. But one player will play a card, and you resolve what's in the big box first, and then it goes to the other player, and they resolve what's in their big box, and then it goes back to the original player, and he resolves what's on the second line of the card, and then back to the other player, and you resolve what's on your second line. So it's back and forth is the way you play this game. Comes with a player aid. So we've got some good, again, a good deck of free agents. We got some expansions. What is it? The robots, and we got
robots.
The naturals. Oh, we got the ballparks.
And we bought the ballpark expansion.
That changes one of some rules in the game.
Everything's on sale on Eagle Griffin's website. Those expansions were like $2.
Yeah, yeah. Eagle Griffin's website's where we got this, and you guys can acquire this very inexpensively right now. For whatever reason, they're blowing them out. And it's a fun card game, so you will enjoy it. It's a very, very fun card game, and you don't have to like baseball to enjoy it. I don't want
deck builder.
Yeah, deck building game, and you're trying to score more runs than the other player, and you got robots that are going robots and what else? The rookies and veterans, and
And they've all got the names of baseball players mashed together.
So yeah, just some cool stuff in here. And we liked it back when we had it before, but it was just a little bit too much in the box, this little spring training thing. And then we bought what we wanted to add to it. Okay, the next game I'm going to talk about is a game that I've been looking at for quite a while called Escape from 100 Million BC. Now, why was I interested in this, you might ask yourself? There's a couple of reasons. First of all, it's designed by Kevin Wilson. Kevin Wilson did a game called Kinfire Delve, and Kinfire Chronicles, obviously, too. And I'm interested in Kinfire Chronicles. I'm definitely going to look at that. But Kinfire Delve is in my top games of 2024. It's a little cooperative card game that's so much fun to play. But Kevin did this game, and this is kind of an adventure game in the vein of Prophecy and Talisman and Secrets of the Lost Tomb that I just showed you, where you're going to have a map that you're moving around and it's buried in all this stuff. But it's a hex map, so a lot of people don't like that. If you don't like hex maps, you're probably not going to like this game. But let me take all this stuff out of here. You get a lot of D6 dice in here, white ones and a red one that you're going to roll, because you're going to have some dinosaurs that you're running from, or you can battle them. You have your choice, or they may run from you. And that happens too. But you got all these tiles that you're going to put on the board. Once you flip them over, they have different benefits that you can acquire, things that block you from moving on or off the tile. And these will also trigger encounters. So if you have a little hat, there's adventures you're going to go on, and equipment items that you can acquire. This one has, when you see those red teeth, that's a carnivorous dinosaur. Green leaves on a tile like that one are, if you can see that on there, the green leaves, that's a herbivore dinosaur. You know, you're going to either battle those guys or run from them, or in certain times, if they have minuses down here, they will run from you. But you know, lots of cards in this game that are going to take you on that adventure, and that's the whole point of a game like this. And then you have characters that you're going to become while you play the game. And this is the guy I was, the botanist, Dr. Johann Wilder, and he wasn't very strong. He's only got 2 brawn. Oh, and 5 willpower, though, he started with. And willpower you can spend on different things to help your game out. And that's your movement. He had 3 movement and 3 health. So once you get down to health, you get, once you get down to health, you, what is it called? You don't die, but you...
Knocked out, I think.
Knocked out, that's it. And then, yeah, various characters you can be. And in this game with different attributes, and each one of them has a, you know, something that they can do, a special ability. And you played these games before, and then you have this, you are arrived there in a time machine, and so time rifts are going to open up, and you have, on this board, you have to get time machine pieces in order to repair the ship in order to win the game. And then this is the difficulty level track. This is the emergency recall, which you can do, exercise that option in the game in order to get your character back to the time machine. And in this game are these time rifts that you're going to open up, because you're bringing, there are characters in this game. Let's see, I find the character cards real quick. There's characters in this game that once you open that time rift, that are going to come out and be part of the game. Oh, that's not it, mysterious. Oh yeah, Albert Einstein. So if you open up a time rift and Albert Einstein comes through, you're going to have to get him back to the time rift so he can go back to where he belongs. Friedrich Nietzsche, John F. Kennedy, some cool stuff. Bill, future warrior. Lucy, yeah, that's cool. Daniel Boone. You know, again, all these characters are in the game. Abe Lincoln, a bunch of characters, Teddy Roosevelt, that are in the game, and once those time rifts open up, you have to start dealing with those people and get hooked up with them and move to the time rift and send them back to where they belong in order to win the game, because you can't have them on the board. And it's just a fun time. And it has a neat winning condition, where you have the one deck, equipment deck you're going to go through, and whatever's left in that equipment deck, whatever points are left on those cards, are going to count against you on the track that you're trying to score on. So yeah, I wanted to play this game because I like games like this. I don't want all my games to be Euro games. I don't want all my games to be adventure games. But I like to have a mix. And this is a fun time where we can sit down and roll some dice down the chute and deal with whatever randomness that gives us. So a lot of people don't like that. If you don't like randomness and dice rolling, this wouldn't be a game for you. This is just a game for us. And it's called Escape from 100 Million BC. We've only played it one time, and we've had a good time doing it so far. I also acquired an expansion for Wingspan called Oceania. And Oceania is just some more bird cards for a game that is beloved not only by me, but by many. And we love Wingspan. It's my number 4 game of all time, and it deserves it. And no, I'm not going to be acquiring Wormspan. Why would I? I like the bird theme better. Elizabeth Hargrave did an outstanding job, almost to perfection. To have a game this good on your first game is incredible. I'm not going to open this box up because it's just got a bunch of stuff in it that doesn't belong.
You put it all in the regular box.
I put it all in the regular box, but yeah, I acquired that. I want to tell you about that.
Play it cooperatively.
Yeah, this brings you a cooperative game also. So we're going to try that and see how that works out. But we love Wingspan and love playing it, and it's just one of our favorite games of all time. Then this is going to be in my 2000. Boy, I'm giving a lot of spoilers.
Yes, you are.
This is going to be in my 2024 top games. Lord of the Rings: Duel for Middle Earth. This is a game that is similar in structure to Seven Wonders Duel, which we never acquired. We played Seven Wonders Duel, and we said, well, that was good, but we like Seven Wonders better, even at the 2-player count. Our Seven Wonders original box says 2 to 7 players on the box, and it has a 2-player variant in there where you're going to control a third wonder, both players. And you can manipulate that third wonder to help yourself out and do whatever you have to do to hurt the other player with it. And we just liked that so much better. We thought Seven Wonders played amazing at 2, and we liked it better than Duel, so we never acquired Duel. And then this came out just recently, and it has a couple of different tweaks to it, and so we decided to give it a try. We really, really enjoyed it. And it's such a nice game. It's open drafting. You're going to have a pyramid of cards you're going to draft off of, and set collection thing going on. Several different ways you can win this game. This is the board you're going to be. If you can get area control in here, you can win the game like that. The coolest thing I like is this little track here where you're going to be moving your marker on this track, and these boards lay in there. So this guy fits in here, and he's trying to catch these two guys. And if he does, he wins. But you're trying to get to Mount Doom with the ring. And so that's a really neat aspect of this game. And you have all these cards that, again, that you're going to be open drafting. You have these little buildings that these are the things you're going to use for the area control on the area control board. And it's just a fun game to play. We were impressed with it, weren't we? And we enjoyed it right away. You got all these little tokens to stack in here nice and neat that are pretty cool. And right away I said, hey, I like that game. I like the re-theming of it. So yeah, this is, I was happy that they did this with the game and made it an interesting theme because I liked Seven Wonders OG. I didn't need Seven Wonders Duel, but I do like this Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. We've played it so many times already, and it's quick. I mean, you can play this game in 30 to 45 minutes, and there's something to be said for that at times. But we love it, and if you like Seven Wonders Duel, of course, it's a no-brainer. And then if you don't have Seven Wonders Duel like us, you might want to try this one out. So yeah. That is Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. And then I want to show you this expansion called Dragon Realm for the game Prophecy. Prophecy is a game that's in the same vein as Escape 100 Million BC and Talisman and those kinds of adventure games. This is the board that goes with it, and rule book, and it comes with 20 new characters for the game. These big tiles that are going to give you not only your race benefits and that kind of thing, and then you have a new deck of cards that are going to go with the game. And in Prophecy, you're going to have a big map that you're going to move your character around. I don't know if it has a picture in here or not. I don't think it does. But you're going to move your character around that board and just do different encounters, and you're trying to collect artifacts to win the game. And it's a laid-back adventure game where you can just roll some dice and move around and battle some monsters and just live in a fantasy world that's not too high pressure. And we enjoy that sometimes. And I've heard people say, I hate Talisman. As a matter of fact, Tom Vassell says that very thing. But We like Talisman. We have the Harry Potter version, and we like it because of that. It's a game that isn't overrun with rules, and you can...
Roll and move.
Yeah, roll and move. I mean, we've all played Monopoly, and I had a copy of Monopoly by the time I was 6 or 7, and we played it to death, and it just taught you simple game mechanics, and sometimes simplicity is underrated. When we played Harry Potter, we played it a couple of nights ago, Harry Potter Talisman, and I just said, man, that was fun. It was just fun to sit back. You're just going to do what the game gives you. You're going to roll and move and draw these cards, and there's nothing difficult about it, and cards are going to give you benefits or take away things, and yes, sometimes the dice will kill you, and that's the way those games work. Same in Prophecy, but I like it, and I've got the Water Realms expansion coming, so I'll have not only the base game, but both expansions that are available for it, and I can't wait, because I love it. Okay, the next game I'm going to talk about, Zombie Mania. And I know what you're thinking, why in the world would you buy that game? Where did we get this?
At the bookstore with Terminator.
Oh yeah, the bookstore with Terminator.
And the Prophecy expansion.
Yeah, was it like $9 or something? I can't remember. It's cheap.
Yeah, it wasn't very much.
But Lori said, hey, see that name on there? Yeah, Reiner Knizia. So, I mean, anybody that's in board gaming, when you see his name on something, you're like, is that game any good? Because you're going to be curious about it. And Zombie Mania is a very simple dice chucking push your luck game, and we're going to probably gift this to our wonderful grandson up in Ohio because he loves scary movies and scary board games. And this is an easy one that he can play. And he's 17. He's shown us, and we love him very much. But look at these chunky zombies. They're all yeah, I mean, they're pretty cool. And you have these custom dice that come with the game that you're going to roll and have different icons on them. And I'll tell you about that in a second. And then you have these player boards. And one of them is the cemetery. Let's see if I can find the cemetery. Yeah, right there. That's a cemetery. And you're trying to get all of your zombies off your player board and onto other players' player boards or the cemetery. And the first one to get rid of all their zombies wins the game. But it has some cool stuff. This is Betty's Beauty Nook. That's a police station. That's pretty cool. Reiner's Fast Food. Of course, Reiner Knizia. And this is some neighborhood house. Looks pretty cool. And then this is Halloween. Oh, costumes. That's pretty sweet. So you have these player boards, and you are simply trying to get rid of all the zombies off your player board and into the graveyard. And you do that by rolling these dice. And there's doublers in here where you can get rid of more than one zombie. When you roll them, you're trying to roll pairs of zombies, and that means you can get rid of one zombie when you roll a pair. And there's a doubler where you can double that, and you have to roll two tombstones in order to even do anything on your turn. So you're rolling these dice, and you better hope, out of these 8 dice, you get a couple of tombstones.
You have to have a zombie each turn.
And you have to reserve a zombie out of the dice pool every turn in order to keep going. And you can just keep rolling these dice. But hey, I'm telling you, it's an easy game, fast, fun, and we just got done playing it before the video.
Yeah.
And we had a good time. Hey, what can I say? It's fun. Sometimes just having simple fun is the order of the day. And we enjoyed it though, but that's Zombie Mania by Reiner Knizia. And we decided it was an older game, didn't we?
It's reprinted.
Okay.
That's like a 2021 reprint.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
It is an older game, but that's a reprint.
Okay.
I don't think it was in this country.
That was my last game. Wow. I've been talking that long. My last game I'm going to talk about that I acquired is The Witcher Old World. Again, this is an adventure game developed after a video game called The Witcher, because I have a bunch of young people I work with, and they've heard of The Witcher video game but never played the board game. And so I wanted to play this. And Lori and I have played it quite a few times, and we do enjoy it. And in this game, you are simply first one to acquire 4 trophies wins the game. And you have a map that you're going to move your characters around. I won't unfold it because it's quite large. In each of these locations, you can see where you go to. You have different things you're going to do at these locations. And so you're moving around this map trying to build your character up so that your deck of cards can be more powerful. You have to draft a card at the end of your turn, and you're trying to get better cards so that you can defeat monsters and acquire 4 trophies, and you have won the game. Now, there is expansions for this game. and I'm not going to get them because they have miniatures in them. More. I mean, there's enough in this box. You know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it's a 5-player game. So you've got 5 gray plastic pieces. It just irritates me. I'd much rather have full color cardboard standees instead of this garbage right here. Yeah, but hey, you know, I'm a voice in the wilderness. And then you have all these decks of cards of encounters and adventures you're going to go on. Oh man, just so much fun. I enjoyed it very much. Didn't think I would, but I did. It's got 2 sets of custom dice. Just an excellent time playing The Witcher. And they do have an expansion called the Adventure Deck that's just cards. Now that's the kind of thing I'm looking for this game, which is add more cards to this so that you wouldn't see the same thing in the Adventure Deck over and over again. And so we're going to look to acquire that. Supposedly, they're going to reprint that expansion for The Witcher at the end of this year, calendar year 2024. But we enjoyed The Witcher, and we're glad we acquired it. Again, it's an adventure game like Talisman. You know, it's that type of thing. You're rolling dice and you're going on an adventure. If you like that kind of thing, you might want to try The Witcher. If you don't like that kind of thing, if you are just a person who only wants to play Euro games with all the terrific mechanisms that are in Euro games, hey, that's fine. I love me some Euro games. I mean, I you know, over half my collection of Euro games. I think I have like 30 some adventure games, but most of my library is Euro games. But I love the adventure games that I do have, like, you know, Arkham Horror 3rd Edition, Secrets of the Lost Tomb, The Witcher, Prophecy, Talisman. I love those games, and we have fun playing because I like to switch gears once in a while. But hey, that's my video today. I'm getting long-winded. So there you go. That's a bunch of games that you probably have no interest in. But we did. So we wanted to show them to you and let you know what we're up to, because I know that's the question all over YouTube is what's the Bones Collector playing? What's the Bones Collector buying? And those are games that I've been looking for, and I had the opportunity to buy them inexpensively for the most part because, again, I go on BGG and you have that BGG marketplace and you can find a person that wants to sell a game that's not fun for them. And that's my point. It's like that 100 million BC, Escape from 100 million BC, that game would be not fun for a lot of people, but for us, we find it fun. Terraforming Mars, a dice game, same thing. That individual probably didn't like that game. Maybe he has Terraforming Mars in his library and said, well, I don't need both. I'm going to get rid of this game. So we were able to pick that up, and he's able to purge that game from his library. So it was my pleasure to show you those games, and maybe you'll like some of them, maybe you won't like some of them, and I hope that they made an interesting point or two and maybe showed you something that you might be interested in and looking into. And always watch them played on YouTube if you can. Always, before you buy a game, try to put yourself in that game player's shoes in that playthrough and ask yourself, okay, I see what's going on. Am I going to like doing that? Is this game deep enough for me? Is it going to offer me the fun and thematic fun that I desire from a board game? Because as I've gotten older and the more I am playing hobby board games, I want the theme of the game and the publishing of the game to be as good as it can be. And again, those will vary for individuals, but we like a mixture of things in our library, and I've always been drawn to horror games ever since I was a little kid. I like Frankenstein and Dracula and all those things, so those are the kind of things that I like, which you may not. So again, it depends on the individual, and you have to make that decision. You're the one spending the money, and this is your hobby to enjoy the way you want to enjoy it. And that's the video for today. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments you have. Please leave a comment. We'll get back to you, I promise. And tell me what games you have in your library that other people say, why would you even own that game? You know, maybe it's just you. And that's what matters. So yeah, leave a comment if you would. I love every one of you. We love doing these videos for you and sharing our passion for board gaming with you. I hope you're all having a great day and have a nice Thanksgiving. See you the next time here on The Bones Collector. Bye-bye.